How y'all doing? Welcome back. So I know today is August 20th. Tomorrow will be August 21st. But I want to celebrate Nat Turner's birthday on today. So I call today and tomorrow and the rest of the week, we're just celebrating Nat Turner's rebellion. And I do have a nice special treat to show you guys, something I've been working on for the past several weeks now. I feel really proud of, actually. A lot of work went into this, a lot of energy. But as much as energy that went into it is as much or more energy that is giving me. So I'm going to show you guys in a second. But how are you guys doing? How are you guys? I know it has been a little while. Before I get into these paintings here, I'm going to show you guys. I received a package which seems to be a mystery package. It says it comes from Freetown, Sierra Leone. I'm like, I'm not expecting anything from Sierra Leone. So what is this? What is this, you guys? I'm excited. A mystery package? Normally, something that seems a little sketchy, I would smell it first. I'm not smelling this, though. Because I have no idea what it is. But this is... I thought it would be a letter or something. Should I show you guys? But it says that it came from Freetown 5. Has a P.O. box. They don't have P.O. boxes in Sierra Leone. 3 Beckland Drive. What is this? What is this? Definitely don't want to touch it because it just seems very strange, and I'm just like, what is this? What is this, guys? Sometimes you never know with these racist white people out here. They do like to hide behind black face sometimes, right? But anyway, let's get into this video. So, which side do I want to start with? So there are 13 paintings I'm going to show you guys. 7 here, and I think it's 6 over here. Or is it 7? Yeah, 6 over here. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with my least favorite first. I like all of them though, but of course there are favorites, right? This is my least favorite. I guess because it's very simple, like not too much really went into this particular painting. I do like the teeth though. And I may have to say this is my very first painting with teeth. I don't know, I have so many, y'all. Like I'm like over 150 paintings already by now before I started with these. So I think this could be my first painting that actually has teeth in it. But I really have fun with making the teeth. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And when I finish this video, I'm actually going to take pictures of each individual painting. And I'm going to make a reel. And I also add it to my album, Handmade Art by Danny, on Facebook. So for you guys who are watching this video on YouTube, you can feel free to come on over to Facebook and check out what these paintings look like in their actual orientation, because on live video, the orientation is actually reversed, it's flipped. So I still like it though. It kind of reminds me of maybe a ladybug, like the shape of it and the colors that I use here in the painting. All right. Let's see. A lot of work went into these paintings, and I had to make sure that when I actually added color to these paintings that I was very careful, meticulous about it, because a lot went into just drawing the painting, let alone, you know, the actual color, adding the color to it. So yeah, I wanted to just make sure that, I'm like, let me make sure I'm careful with this here. But look at this. And this is my first time actually doing, I think, polka dot, because I don't think I've done that before. Like the background, I usually paint a solid color. But with this and a few other, as you guys will see coming up, I did polka dot, multicolored polka dot for the background. So yes, but a lot of detail, obviously, a lot of lines, different colors. You know, with painting, you have to be careful to not allow the colors to bleed into each other. You know, you may be really excited to kind of get the project done, but it's really not about hurry up and rushing the whole process, right? Because you can cause some bleeding and some overlap and some error to happen if you do that, if you rush the process. So I was making sure that I was, you know, very conscientious to kind of slow down, let some of the areas of the paint dry before I actually added a different color, especially if it was like close by, right? Not to contaminate colors. So yes, but I really do like this one. Like up close, when I look at this painting up close as I was doing it, I wasn't too happy, but I'm like, you know what? At a distance, which usually that's how we view art, right? Sometimes at a distance. Sometimes close up, we want to see like the fine details, the textures of it, right? But usually artwork is kind of viewed somewhat at a distance, at least like 2-3 feet away. So I'm like, you know what? I don't feel that bad about it, you know? I actually like it. And I want you guys to let me know which one do you like the best here. So this is the second one I'm showing you guys. I like the lips. I like the jewelry too, the earrings, the earpieces, one may say. And the thing is, like, depending on how you look at it or which lens you look at art, everyone sees something different, right? So let me know what stands out for you in these paintings. What do you see? One may see an ankh, right? The earpieces, so I love it, I love it. Oh, and by the way, so there are 13 of these, and I've already determined where I'm going to hang these once I finish them. I actually had to go and buy, check this out, what I purchased. And I did this just for these paintings. I purchased this just for these paintings. Not even realizing how heavy it is, yo. But I ordered this for store pickup in my neighborhood Home Depot, just so I can reach the upper part of my wall here. I'm going to actually add these to my brick wall. So I will be showing you guys a follow-up video after I hang these paintings along my brick wall here. But yes, I had to purchase this, and it's very durable. But I'm like, damn, I didn't realize how heavy it was, and I definitely need this to be able to reach the higher part of the wall here. Oh, all right. So that should be interesting, hanging those up. All right, my next one is this guy. And like, as I was doing these, I'm like, you know what? These masks, these African masks, kind of remind me of people that I know in real life. I'm like looking at the features of it. Like, I know somebody that looks just like this, eyes and all, yeah. But I really do like this one. It's very simplistic. Sometimes less is more. But it stands out. I like the earth tone colors here. Green, the yellow, the brown. And I actually experimented with this new color, red, here. I'm trying to remember the exact name of it. What is this red called? Just my memory will come to me. This one. I love, 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 love this one. So some of these paintings, when you look at it, it may seem like the person or the person behind the mask, or like, let's say the mask itself, it actually is a reflection of sadness or something like depressing. Could very well be. I mean, looking at underneath the eyes here, right? One could say that could be tears. What kind of tears are they? I do like the contrast here, though, with this one, because, you know, the bright yellow contrast against this color is actually, I would say it could be peach, but kind of light magenta, let's say a blend of magenta and peach mixed together. I had fun with the hair. I love this hairstyle. Just, it pops, yo. I love it. So this one I would say wasn't that difficult to do necessarily. It was fun, but each and every one I had to make sure that I had a steady hand, and I was like very careful not to rush, because a lot of these, as you can see, have very like fine detail to them. I'm still trying to recall the name of the red. Okay, let me. If I don't look at it now, it's definitely gonna bother me. So I have to see what color red is it. Yo, look at all of these. I have so many freaking bottles of paint here. Not brilliant red. It's like the same color as my carpet, but it's a special name to it. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but it wasn't coming to me. Hold on, coming. I think here it is. I think I found it. Oh, that's what it is. I'm trying to think of the name. So it's called Crimson, but it's like almost the color of blood. It's a different kind of red. I haven't used that red before, but I definitely use that color red in these paintings here. All right, here's my next one. So that was number 3 I just showed you guys. This is number 4. So I want you guys to put in the comment section below which paintings you like. I like this one. This kind of reminds me of the Afrofuturism style. I like the nose and the eyes and the background too. How much time do you think it actually took for me to do each and every one of these? Like, you would be surprised the actual time it takes to do each painting. I was like, God dang, yo, this takes a long time. But I had to remind myself, dang, yeah, it's really not about the outcome. It's about the process. Because for me, painting is very relaxing. It kind of just gives me a space to contain, you know, my emotions or any energy right? I kind of get to release, contain my energy, kind of release it or transmute it into something that becomes a product, right, of art, you know, that I could kind of relish in for years later. So I had to remind myself, like, there's no rush. I finish them when I finish them, you know. So here is what number was that? That was number 5. Wait. Oh, I think I miscounted you guys. Sorry. I think you guys are keeping up better than I am. So this is actually number 6 here. But just let me know which one you guys like the most. So yeah, I definitely know some people that look like this guy here. I'm trying to figure out what is it that makes this mask, like the facial structure, distinct, right? Like, is this a distinct type of face? And I get it. I think it's like the closeness of the person's eyes to their forehead. Like, it's higher up. I realize that. And then the nose kind of elongated. The mouth kind of sits at the bottom of the face, like all the way at the bottom. Yeah, so interesting. And as a person that loves to study different cultures, alongside with that, obviously, you know, kind of ties into anthropology and looking at just the study of people, you know, even as it relates to our phenotype, right? You can tell, like, what region a person is from just based on their actual phenotype. Someone commented on my post recently and said, "Are you from Zimbabwe?" And I wanted to reply to say, what about myself, right? My external that gives that communicates that kind of vibe. Zimbabwe, out of all the places. I didn't respond because for me, you know, I don't like to create a divide between Africa, right? And people that come from Africa, such as myself. I'm a descendant of people who, you know, obviously come from Africa. I'm an Africanoid person. So I don't really kind of participate and feed into or promote this idea of division or separatism, you know, amongst people of the African diaspora. For me, it's all about unity, clearly, as a Pan-African. You know, it's about coming together. It's not about, oh, you're from this country in Africa and you're from that country. That's the reason why I haven't taken the African ancestry test, because for what? I don't need to take a DNA test to confirm that I'm African, let alone try to highlight what region in Africa. Like, it doesn't matter, because I feel like those lines, those divisive lines that they've separated the different countries in Africa with, you know, it's just a reflection of colonization. So why do I want to attach myself to something that simply represents the division of Africa, right? Or the colonization of Africa? I feel like it's silly. We are all one. We're all, you know, one African race, right? It really doesn't matter. But I understand, like, obviously the benefits, because given that we have been divided, you know, there are cultural differences that people come to appreciate, come to understand and learn more about, right? So, you know, you may have a tribe and different tribes in Nigeria. There are multiple different tribes in Nigeria, you know, that dress a certain way, and it'll be different from, let's say, a tribe that's in Kenya, right? So the culture is different, the food is different, but you will see, I think, a common thread amongst different people across Africa, and even those of us who were taken away, you know, or snatched away from our root, and those who have migrated away. You will see a common thread amongst all of us, and that, for me, is what I would like to accentuate. So I tend to kind of ignore or dismiss comments that, you know, speak to divisiveness as it relates to my African identity. I hope that makes sense for those who are tuning in, who are watching, and who truly support the work that I do. All right, yo. Okay, I'm going to show y'all this one. I really like this one right here, right? And as you guys can see. So I didn't realize how this one would come out until I actually finished it. And when I finished it, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is kind of creepy. But then I'm like, why is it creepy? Clearly it's the eyes, right? When you look at the eyes tell it all. But can you guys see that? So when you look at the eyes, like clearly, okay, obviously all of these are masks, right? But it kind of accentuates the person beneath the mask, right? So it makes it very clear that obviously this person is wearing a mask, and you can like the eyes is what stand out because the eyes resemble actual human eyes, right? Or human, face, human phenotype. And then outside of that, you have the colors of the mask, and it's just like, oh my gosh. I love it. And his ears and his hairline. And yeah. So this is obviously one of my favorites here. And this is number 7 for you guys who would like to comment in the comment section which one you like the best. But yeah. So wait till I post these pictures. On my Facebook, you guys will actually be able to see it clear. Also, I think I'm using a ring light, so that definitely affects like the color of it. See how? Watch. See, there's no light right there, right? And then, boom. So it definitely, I think, kind of changes the color of it a little bit. All right, so that was 7, and then I have 6 more I'm going to show you guys. So these sizes are a bit smaller than the ones I'm about to show you guys coming up. All right. I'm looking at the sizes like, wait a minute. I think I got 3 different sizes, but they seem to be only 2 different sizes. I'm like, I know. Is it me? Is it me? But I got 3 different sizes. But now it just seems like it's only 2 different sizes. All right. So these are the larger ones here that I'm about to show you guys. Starting with this guy. And the weird thing is just like, when you look at these, like I know for me, because I've been looking at these fat masks. I want to say like these beings. They kind of are. They come to life. But they kind of like take a different shape and form. Almost like every time I look at them, I see something different. Especially with this person's eyes here. But I love it. I love it. I love it so much I just want to kiss it. I love the ears. You guys can get it up close. Look at the ears. All right. Probably not going to hang these up today. Here's the next one. Ooh. Very colorful. There's a psychology behind color. Different colors affect our mood in different ways. And especially when you combine different colors. Like I noticed that just with the colors I wear out in public. I've had someone tell me, thank you. Like they thank me for being beautiful, and I understand like what they saw, on the external was relating to what I was wearing, right? They were commenting on not just obviously my facial beauty, but what I was wearing. Like I emanated this type of energy, and that came from the colors I was wearing. And this person like, just thank you. They were just like all over. You're just amazing. Amazing sight, but it's the colors, you guys. Like a person can wear all white. You can see how that may elicit a certain type of reaction from people. But then you can put on some different colors, and it just, I think it stimulates our senses, right? And with stimulating our senses, it resonates with our different types of emotion. It kind of pulls out different emotions in us. It changes our energy, our vibration. It raises our vibration, right, with certain colors that we wear. So I love using various colors when I'm painting. I love experimenting with mixing different colors, and clearly with the background here that I created, and the face, the color of the face. So yes, honey. I wasn't too certain about this as I was doing it. I was just like, wait a minute. Wait, sometimes like when, you know, you're painting, anything you do, obviously, I think it's a reflection of who you are. Because you're projecting, right? When a person is painting, they're projecting. When they're dancing, they're projecting. When they're speaking, they are projecting. When they're interacting with other people, they are projecting something that is within them, right? So you can get to know a lot about a person just by observing whatever it is they're projecting, right? Through whatever medium they're projecting it through. And so, and self-reflecting, because for me, painting obviously is something that I do to just relax, to meditate, but it's also a way for me to understand myself, to see myself, right? It's a reflection. And I noticed, what I noticed about myself, you know, through painting is that sometimes I second guess. Well, not even sometimes. I do this, I think, more often than what I need to, but I second guess myself, and I'm just like, it's funny, like as I'm doing the painting, right, I'm aware that I'm kind of second guessing, kind of doubting, like, this ain't gonna turn out right, like, oh my gosh, oh my, and then when I finish, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm like, look at this. So yes, I love myself. That's something that I realized. So here is another one. A number of these paintings, I was like kind of second guessing, like, oh my gosh. But can you see? They just turned out beautiful. That's the thing about art. There's really no mistakes in art. The thing that you think is a mistake becomes the very thing that draws upon the beauty, that makes it beautiful. So I'm just like, wow. It's amazing how our mind, it just works. It's very accommodating. It's very adaptive. Kind of filling in the gaps where you think, oh, I messed up. But then the mind somehow corrects it in a way, right? So it's just amazing how that works. And it's just like, oh my gosh, there are really no mistakes when you make art. Now, do I consider myself an artist? People have said that. People have wanted to label me an artist because, like, clearly, you know, I live in New York City and I live in Manhattan, Upper East Side. And so I traveled to Chelsea neighborhood to Michael's to get my art supplies. It's really not that far. It's not a bad trip. But I'm like traveling via the subway, MTA, and I have people like asking me, oh, they see like me carrying these supplies. I'm carrying the canvas, obviously, you know, it stands out. And they're just like, oh, are you an artist? And I say, no, I don't consider myself an artist. What I consider myself is who I am, which is Danielle, right? I'm a revolutionary first, above all, right? If we want to, you know, attach labels to a person's identity, my identity, I definitely would identify myself as a revolutionary Pan-Africanist, but an artist, you know, unless you want to throw that in there, but I don't, because I feel like when you start to add all these different labels and titles, it just gets very convoluted and very confusing. And then, you know, competitive. People want to, you know, put you in this category. Then now you're competing. I'm not here to compete against anyone. That's definitely not the objective for me, because art for me means something else. Whereas, you know, art for someone else, maybe they want to kind of be in the running games to compete against other artists, but that's definitely not me, right? Because then I feel like once it becomes that, then that's where it becomes null and void, and I no longer want to do it anymore. So like to keep it as such. You know, art is something I do. It's not who I am. But I love this one. It's somewhat up close. I love the feathers. I love how I mix the colors here. His forehead, obviously the eyes are, you can't really miss the eyes, right? They pop. They're like right there, you know, in your face. And then it's like a puzzle piece that I created here. I love it. And then I have 3 more. Now, this one actually finished today, but I started yesterday. And this is another one where I was painting it and I was a bit conscientious and doubtful, like, oh man, I messed up. Not only, I don't know if you guys noticed, perhaps that's the thing, like if I didn't point it out, you wouldn't notice. But look at the eye. So on this person's left eye, which is, you know, kind of reversed, but on this person's left eye here, I think as I was getting ready to add the hair color, I accidentally dropped some paint. It fell from my brush and it landed right there on his eye. And, you know, instinctively and, you know, kind of impulsively, I almost wanted to just like try to erase it. But I'm like, no, leave it there. Especially after I already added the colors on the eye. Leave it. Like, let's let it be, right? I was concerned about the hair. Just like, oh no. But I love it. And, you know, even drawing these, it's like, it's funny because on a lot of these, when I was drawing the outline of the shape of the person's face, it just came very effortlessly. Like, I didn't really think about it. I didn't put much effort into it. I was just able to create this oval shaped face, right? But then there was a few that I'm like, I struggle. I'm like, what is going on here, right? And I get it. I think same thing when I'm doing my hair, which, you know, obviously when we style hair, that's a form of art too. But I think when you try to do something, when you try to perfect it, that's when you fuck up. But when you just don't think about it, just do it, then perfection happens. It's just like, it's funny. I find myself struggling in the morning trying to get the perfect bun. And I only face struggle when I'm like putting so much effort and attention to doing it, right? But when I just like kind of step away from the mirror and I just do it, boom, it just comes out perfect. I'm like, crazy how that works. So I have 2 more. I love this one. Definitely kind of symbolic of Afrofuturism. I love it. It's another one. I'm like, fuck, I don't know how this is going to turn out. I actually did this today. And this is the last one that I painted. Because I knew that it was going to take a lot of time. It probably took me like 3 or 4 hours, between 3 to 4 hours to do this. Because it just has so much detail and I didn't want to mess anything up. So I took my time with it. And I really do like the way it came out. Even though I was concerned, like, oh no. But it turned out all right. I definitely have some ideas for what I'm going to do with these paintings moving forward. Someone asked me would I ever give any of my paintings away. I'm like, no. Talking about the original? Absolutely no. You know how much time goes into this? You know how much work, exertion of my physical energy and mental and emotional energy is very exhausting. When I get finished painting, I am tired, right? It's a very good workout all the way around, right? Not just physical, but psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, you want a good workout, paint, okay? I'm talking about not just some sipping paint stuff, but like something like this that is very fine detail. But I wouldn't necessarily give away like any of the originals necessarily, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna duplicate these where I can share them with the world. And this is a final one. I love her, and I'm glad I saved the best for last. Queen. I haven't named any of these paintings though. None of my paintings I've given name, but I do like that I decided to just step away from the norm. I think this was probably the first one that I decided to do the background like this. Now, let me do something different. I'm so used to doing a solid color as a background. I'm like, you know what? Nope. And I did like multicolored polka dot. And it turned out beautiful. I love it. So you got a third eye there. Which, when we talk about the third eye, it's really not a third eye. It is the eye. It's the eye. It's only one eye. And, of course, science and medicine, when we learn in school, have taught us that we have two eyes. But those two eyes are simply the passageway for which our third eye operates, right? What we see through our two eyes is projected actually from our third eye. Comes through. So this is so-called the third eye. But this is the only eye we have, and it's projected through what we know as our eyes. It's like we only have one nose, but we have so-called two nostrils. But it's really just one entire nose. Same thing with eye. We just have one eye. And look how it's geometrically, symmetrically aligned with our nose, right? All right, so that wraps it for this video. I love the colors here. And you guys come back. I'm about to actually take pictures of these paintings, and I'm going to create a reel on Facebook, probably on YouTube as well, and then I will be adding these photos to my photo album. And that's all. I feel so proud of myself, but I'm still trying to figure out what in the... I'm going to have to research that. It's like, wait a minute. Y'all remember back in the day, I think it was it the early 2000s when the world was supposed to be coming to an end? I think it was around that time when they was like, it was kind of some freakish shit happening where it was so-called sending anthrax to people's mail. Just like, what is this? And they said the anthrax caused people to like pass out. Like some people were maybe dying or they got sick from it. That's what I'm reminded of here, because it's a suspicious package, because I'm not expecting a package from Sierra Leone, you know, but I feel like it's kind of fraudulent. That's what it is. It's fraudulent. It's a fraudulent package, because what the hell? But anyway, I'm definitely not going to smell that. I might just have to report it. That's what I might end up doing. Like, hold up. Should I report this? But anyway, I'm going to catch y'all later. Share this video. Drop your comments below.